Hello, everyone, and welcome to Growth Uncut, a podcast that talks to lots of different people around the world about how we can upgrade justice. And this series is all about Justice 2.0, which is looking at how we can be more courageous and trusting and research informed and collaborative within our upgrades. And today I am here with Stephen. So, Stephen, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for inviting me for this podcast. So my name is Steven Van De Steene. I live in France. Originally, I'm from Belgium. I see myself as a European citizen, traveling around Europe, and mainly professionally working around technology and correction, so prison and probation services, and how does both relate. So I'm working mainly on projects related to implementing technology, but I'm really focusing very much strongly on the human aspect of technology and how it could help, or also where it could not help, improve the way we are working in our prison and probation services. So that's briefly. I am also a board member of the International Correction and Prison Association. I'm working on different projects, currently mainly in the Irish Republic, but also on European projects. And also, I've recently written together with Pia Polak and Shane Bryans the handbook on the use of technology for the UNODC and International Red.
Lovely. And we also have the pleasure of working together on the Champions Community, which is a wonderful project that looks at culture change and how we can create communities, how we can create platforms and communities to connect with people. So I'm really excited that you're here. And we're going to talk about three key things for you guys today. We're going to talk a little bit about collaboration, the importance of courage, and co-creating. So, yeah, talk me through the importance of collaboration. I guess if we're going to upgrade justice, why is collaboration important, would you say?
I think traditionally we are working in an organization that are quite conservative, who are working in silos, and any change, if it's related to technology or not, needs collaboration and needs the courage to rethink the things that you always have done. So I think collaboration is key to this. And technology can help. It's information and communication technology, and often people forget that the purpose of those types of technology is to improve the way we are communicating and collaborating with each other. So to really make a difference, we have to collaborate. We have to be courageous also to not only look at the micro part of how we operate, for example, in prisons, but really include all the stakeholders, including the people who are working with staff, anticipating how staff currently works, how young people think, and how this could impact the culture inside prisons, for example. We have to talk to people who are providing or not providing enough money, to be creative around that and how we can change. But mainly, I think it's really important to, again, be courageous, to dare to question what we have done in the past. So one of the big problems I experience when I'm working on ICT and digital transformation project is the things that we have always done it like that. So why change? So although, yeah, we are traditionally very risk averse, afraid of taking risks. So, but I think we have to change that a little bit also, be open to take some risks and be open to change.
And what do you feel is the kind of first step for that? Because that's quite scary, isn't it? Particularly if, it's served people well in terms of the way in which they've worked, or even if it hasn't almost. But, AI is coming in, more digital kind of technologies coming in. What advice would you give those individuals that are saying, do you know what? This is too much. This is overwhelming. There's too many risks. I can't do it. How does it work?
I think, and especially now with AI, everyone is talking about it. It's a very controversial item. Everyone is afraid of it and everyone is using it. So it's very, very strange what's happening now. But we focus too much on the technology, and I always try to motivate people to think again, what is your problem? What do you want to solve? Start from there. So what is the challenge that you have? How do you handle that challenge? And then maybe some things like AI could help support you. So it's really, on the starting point should be your organization, what you're doing, the humans around you, and how we could do better what we are currently doing. And I think there's a lot of things that we can do better if you look at how prisons and probation services currently operate and what's the impact on society today. So I think that should be the starting point, and technology should not be the end goal. I have been working on many different types of IT projects. And what I see often happening is that people start with big ambitions to change the organizations, change the way they are working. And then they say, okay, and we can use this tool. But they evaluate the success of a project on if the tool is working and not if the tool has brought the value that they were aspiring to have. and that's really important to focus on that. And on AI, it's not different. We really have to think about what do we want to change, and it's not just a nice gadget that we want to have. I think in many situations we also have to be courage to say we don't want to use AI for this type of use case. So it's that conversation that needs to happen.
We talked earlier about kind of culture and I guess and relationships, right? Within kind of collaboration, but also kind of silo-based working and, then inputting in a digital solution. But ultimately, if culture isn't addressed and culture isn't nurtured, you can maybe not maximize the effectiveness of that tool. So why is culture important, do you think, when we're implementing new kind of technological solutions? Why is culture important?
But it's the most important thing, in fact, because technology is neutral as such until you start implementing. And the implementation of technology depends on the culture. To give you a very, very quick example, I've worked on a project in a country in Europe where we had the idea to give the incarcerated individuals their own key to the cell door. That would enable them to just set their own alarm clock and go to work, a kind of principle of normality supported by tech. The problem was that the culture and the way that the staff were also trained to do is that they use the momentum of opening a door to initiate a conversation. They were never been trained to just initiate conversations as such. It was like all those things they are doing were like momentum to ask, but you took away that momentum because they don't have to open the door anymore. So what we see is that the staff was having less conversations. So we had a very almost negative effect of it, why we had so much positive ambition. So this is a part of the culture, the way that you have. So we have to start working on that and analyzing every little piece of technology in the context of where you're going to implement it. That's really crucial. So that's a simple example to show you that how culture is important. And that's also one of the reasons that I also currently, so also as with you as a partner, invest more in cultural change and change management. It's a popular term for what we think is crucial to have successful IT projects.
Tell us a little bit about the Growth app. It's been lovely to work with you on the Growth app. You have been an incredible advisor and supporter of it. What is it about the Growth app that you feel is important in terms of, I guess, new technological solutions within justice?
There are different aspects, but I think the most fundamental uniqueness of the Growth app is that it has been co-created with people who had lived experience. So people who really are going to use it or know in which situation users are. So I think that it's unique, especially in the organization where we work. It's well known in literature and theory that you should include the users in development. But how many jurisdictions do that? And I'm talking about the end user. In this case, is the incarcerated individual or the person who's returning back to the society. It's really important to do that. And I think it's unique. It's fascinating how this has happened. Also, that how you have taken the time also to let it grow. That's also very important. We often run too fast into implementation. I think it is fascinating. The second thing, it's like I already mentioned, it's a collaborative communication platform. The success is not, the app as such. It's how people, organizations will buy into and collaborate around it to make it really successful. And that I think it's really strong. At the same time, it's a challenge. We all know that we have to motivate organizations, all stakeholders in society, to support it, to make it successful. So I think that's a challenge. The Growth App is, in my opinion, so a fascinating initiative. And I really supporting and hoping and looking forward to see the results of it as soon as possible.
Right. And my last question, I guess. So I don't know, this time, and I was going to say this time in 5 years, but maybe that's just way too far down the line. But this time next year, where do you feel justice will be? Best case scenario when it comes to technology, when it comes to digital rehabilitation, what would you like to see in the space? How would you see things differently? How do we know that maybe that upgrade might be starting to kind of take shape? Is there kind of a thing that you think, do you know what, it'd be great to see that?
Yeah, I think it would be great to see that the whole conversations about technology are shifting away towards a broader organization and not only something that happens in a corner by techie people. At the same way, I think 1 year is very short. Unfortunately, many things will take quite some time, but I see a lot of positive things happening. For example, giving individual access to digital information, to digital education, to the healthcare. So there are a lot of positive things. At the same time, I have to be honest, I'm also a little bit afraid about what's happening on AI, that things are happening so fast and that there is a lot of attention on AI, for example, on traditional things like AI can be biased, they can hallucinate and things like that. But what we often forget and is still underestimated is the relationship between AI and human, especially in the context that we are working with vulnerable people who often have historically already had not good relationships or having trusting the wrong people or the wrong things and having to be relying too much on things that are maybe not the things that they should rely on. So I hope that really people take that in account also and take again, not only from the theoretical basis that we have in new policies like the human in the loop, but really look into detail, what does that mean? And if they do that thoroughly, I am convinced that with technology you can really help to do things better and support our work in corrections.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, folks. And if you want to hear a little bit more about Justice 2.0, visit our website on www.growtransformbelong.com. Or if you'd like to have a little gander at the Growth app, that is www.thegrowthapp.org. So please do get in touch. If you want to get in touch with Steven, best place to get in touch with you, LinkedIn, would it be, Steven?
Yes, definitely. You
Yeah.
can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, find him, message him. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sarah.